back to Bloom. Springing into daylight savings time really makes us focus more on sleep this time of year and its restorative health benefits for our bodies. Joining us with ways to heal your body and mind with sleep is Dr. June Hall. Welcome back to Bloom, Dr. June.
Thank you.
Sleep, it's so coveted, and it looks like you have all kind of tips and tricks for us. But first of all, how does lack of sleep, negatively impact our health?
Well, first of all, when you don't get enough sleep, it can lead to degenerative brain disorders such as Alzheimer's. It impacts your heart health because your blood pressure raises, and then that, of course, makes your heart work harder. So these are things that you need to, and then you can't focus. Do you know that more people have accidents because of lack of sleep?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
They say it's worse than driving under the influence, which is terrible in itself.
And even at work, people who work with like equipment, some people have lost their fingers. So sleep is imperative for the mind and the body.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the mind because that's a big role in it as well. I mean, a lot of people don't realize, anxiety, depression levels are up, and not getting a good night's sleep is linked to all of that.
That's right. And loss of memory, which is why it's connected to Alzheimer's.
Yeah. And so talk to us about some tips on getting a good night's sleep.
Okay, so I say cold, comedy, and sleep-Cation. Those are my 3 tips. Okay, so cold because, when you don't even realize it. When your AC doesn't work and you're hot, you're not comfortable sleeping.
No.
So it has been studied that if you turn your temperature down, maybe 3 or 4 degrees before you go to bed, and then you can cover up, you snuggle, you feel comfortable, and you can sleep better. And if you don't want to do that, I brought my handy dandy fan, you can use a fan, put a ceiling fan or something like that to lower the temperature, and that will help you sleep better.
Okay.
Comedy. People say, what are you talking about when you say laugh before you go to bed? It releases dopamine, and dopamine is the neurotransmitter that helps you relax. It reduces anxiety. Remember, you talked about anxiety just a second ago. So when you release that dopamine, that helps you sleep. So, watch something funny, read a chapter out of a book. I know that what I do is I have clips from my favorite movies. So before I go to bed, because I like to shoot 'em up, bang bang shows. With cars and all that racing. So that's not good to go to sleep on.
Right.
So you watch something funny. It relaxes you. It reduces your anxiety because when you're anxious, you don't sleep well. And then it helps you also. So when I say something funny, it really does help.
Okay.
And then sleep-Cation. So when you're on the plane, have your comfortable pillow in the hotel, because a lot of times when you're on a trip, it's not dark. But what's a real sleep-Cation? You're home, you're thinking about all these things that are on your mind that's bothering you, which is why you shouldn't look at that before you go to bed. A sleep-Cation is when you take yourself someplace relaxing where you want to be. Like for me, I'm not trying to ski, but I do want to go to the ski lodge and sit by the fireplace and have hot cocoa.
Yes.
Exactly. So you take yourself on a sleep-Cation.
I like that. And I also know that I just read a report today that making sure that you have your drapes down and it's as dark as possible is really important for your sleep. So that's another thing to think of. And then your fan is making that soothing noise too.
Exactly.
That it gets you kind of,
puts you in the mood to relax and go to sleep.
Absolutely. So, all right. So how's everything else going in your world?
Well, everything else is going pretty well. But here's something that I also want to share with you, and that is if you have insomnia, don't just say, oh my God, I can't sleep. If you have insomnia, if you snore, if you find that you have excessive daytime sleepiness, if you cough when you go to bed, if you have headaches, you need to see a professional to help you with sleep, either your ENT or a sleep neurologist.
Yeah, that is good to do. And you can go to one of those sleep labs and they can kind of monitor you.
Yes.
My husband had to do that for the whole snoring situation. And it helps a lot. And I had to drag him there tooth and nail.
I know.
And but once he got fitted with one of those CPAPs and he's sleeping regularly, it's been a game changer for him.
And it's a game changer for you too, because now you can rest and you don't have to hear it.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win, Dr. June. All right, for more information on Dr. June, just head to WFLA.com/Bloom, and we will be back with more Bloom right after this.